Hey, Kat.
Hello.
Hi. Hello, everyone else. Just want to say welcome to Twisted Chambers.
Yes, our podcast.
I know, it's very exciting. And yeah, this is going to be the place where we are going to talk about pretty much anything and everything that's dark.
Dark, scary, weird,
Like
cool,
weird.
facts, fiction. Who knows?
Yes, definitely. Who knows? Definitely a place where we're going to explore a lot of, I don't know, crazy stuff, right?
Yeah, mystical things, or what happens, or can ghosts be real? Can they touch you? Is it in your head? Is it not in your head? Who knows?
Exactly that. Well, this first episode, which we'll welcome you to,
Yes, first.
is quite monumental and historical, I'm going to say, because we're in quarantine.
Quarantine. It has been a journey, my friend, hasn't it?
It has been. It has been.
Yeah. We haven't worked. I counted out that I probably worked 18 weeks out of the year. So it's been a time. So why not make a podcast about scary things? How amazing.
Exactly that.
Why not try it out?
Exactly that. Just go for it. And hopefully we'll have some fun at the same time.
Exactly.
Yes.
So let's talk about our episode today.
Yes.
What are we going to be talking about? So I think we should talk about hauntings, our experiences, Natasha.
Definitely,
because we
yes.
both had our own experiences with ghosts and hauntings and crazy things.
Yes, definitely. I know some people out there won't believe in ghosts and some people will.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, and hopefully, opinions. If you have any opinions, we'd love to hear from you. And for the people who are non-believers, I have a really good story.
Yes, she does. And this is what this podcast is going to be about.
Oh,
our
yes.
experience, So yeah, if this doesn't scare you, I don't know what will.
Well, I have like my blankie, which I was told not to use because it scuffles the microphone, but it is close by just in case, right?
Just in case we get scared. I'm already in my fuzzy blanket, ready to go, right? So I don't get the shivers, because this is going to get real scary. And even talking about the experiences, talking about what has actually happened to you is even scarier because you're reliving what actually happened. Because at the end of the day, you can say it didn't happen to make your head feel better, but you saw those things, you felt those things.
Yes.
How can you debunk what you felt?
Well, exactly that. And also as well, doesn't sometimes if you talk about stuff, it can manifest it. Like, don't they say it could make it come back again?
Yeah. Which we don't want to do.
But we
are going to do that today in this podcast because this is what we want.
If I can't sleep tonight, I'm totally blaming you. I'm going to ring you at 3 a.m. in the morning, the witching hour.
Oh, no.
I'm going to ring you and then I'm going to be like, I can't sleep and it's all your fault.
Well, what is the witching hour then? Because a lot of people will say it's just different times at 3 a.m. But I thought it was 3:20 a.m. Is that true or is that false?
Well, I was always under the impression that it's the devil's kind of taking the piss out of when Jesus was crucified. So it's actually the opposite time of when he was crucified. So I'm not sure what time he was crucified, and that might be a really bad thing, and maybe I should know this, but it's roughly around 3 a.m.-ish for the whole hour.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
so because the amount of times I've woken up at the witching hour constantly.
Yes. Yeah, it's like, and that's when you do spiritual things, the best time to do them is at 3 a.m. in the morning because that's when everything is most active.
Some kind of portal or something.
Yes.
We just can't comprehend it yet.
No, not
because
yet.
we're not there yet.
Well, we're not there yet. But then I don't think we'll ever be there because it's not you wouldn't want to be in that portal though, because that would be the dark portal, right? That's the devil's,
No,
the witching
I hope
hour.
not.
The
I hope
witching
not.
hour.
That is true.
If it was like the angel hour, God, you'd be awake.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm telling you, it is a
Yes.
scary time.
It is. It's and that's the best play. That's the best time to do things like Ouija boards and to do spell casting.
No, and that's one thing I will never ever. Hey, everyone out there, I am never touching a Ouija board. I am not playing with a Ouija board. It is a wicked, horrible thing, and I refuse to touch one.
That's like, but I have a Ouija board.
She's crazy.
I'm currently can look at my Ouija board. It's in my room. And I've used it and have made others.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and got some, I remember being a kid and we did it and these initials came out in a year. And I remember the name was Michael and it was actually my nan's brother. His name and age when he died. He was 6 years old when he died. Apparently he had a message for me, but I didn't receive a message because we freaked out, burnt the paper and smashed the glass outside.
And that's why you don't touch Ouija boards. Lesson to everyone. Thank you.
Yes, but then I have done other Ouija boards. The place that I'm talking about today, I did a Ouija board in this place.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't wait to hear this story, Natasha.
Yes, I know.
I am scared. I don't know if they're ready. I think we need to get ready for this.
I think so. Right. Are you comfortable?
Yes, I'm comfortable.
Okay.
We are ready.
Right, guys. Guys, chill out, sit back and relax, get comfy, get a blanket, because hopefully this will freak you out.
And remember, this is what Tash has experienced, but this is going to be, she's going to explain a little bit of history, behind the place, so you can really get an idea of what's actually here.
Yes. So the place I'm talking about is called the Ancient Ram Inn. Now, from my opinion, if you don't believe in ghosts, you're a little bit skeptical about the whole thing, this would be the place I would recommend that you go to. I really want to take Kat here, so once we get out of quarantine...
Oh no, guys.
We are going. Okay. I'm going to film her reaction.
We're going to do it. We're going to take some equipment with us.
Yep. And we are going to go ghost hunting because it's so active, this house. It's a grade 2 listed building and its location, it's in Gloucestershire. And it is supposed to be one of the most haunted houses in Britain. I know there's obviously claims that
don't you think that a lot of places say that they are the most haunted place in Britain?
Yeah, they do. But honestly,
yeah, I know.
It was scary here. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So and it's so old. It was built in 1145.
Wow.
So it's such an odd, and it's really interesting because when you pull up and you come round the corner, when you see the house, it looks like it's just one really skinny bungalow from the road. And then when you walk round and you go around the back, it's actually a 2-story huge house. It's huge. But because it's so old, obviously everything was built a lot lower. And obviously they've built up and up and up with concrete and everything else that they've built over time. And then obviously this house is now kind of shrunk into the background. But it's really amazing. And what was that film? A Poltergeist, right? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it, right, guys? Guys, if you've seen Poltergeist, the house is built on an ancient burial ground, right? And you're sitting there as a kid and it freaks you out because you're scared, right? And then as you get old, you're like, what kind of house would be built on an ancient burial ground? The Ancient Ram Inn is.
Yeah. So just think about that for that story for a second. Oh my God, could you imagine if someone got sucked into a TV
I
and
know.
ran in. Oh my gosh.
That would be, in your hotel room, and then you're trying to watch telly, and then all of a sudden this little girl appears, because that's what happened.
Yeah. That is my worst nightmare.
That would
a
be
little child appearing in front of me.
In front of you. Yeah. And this is why you kind of like if I ever buy a house, I'm going to be like, what was on here before?
Yeah, because
Like,
if you
what is
find
it?
out that, I'm really interested in buying the Rams Inn. Oh, so cute, so quaint, right? Oh, so what was built here before? So much death. So much. So much. We can't explain how much death is in this house.
Yeah.
You know, that is not a selling point. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's not. No, it's not a selling point. And you do. Yeah, no, it's definitely not a selling point. Yeah, definitely not.
Goodness.
Yes. So we have, this house is like triple whammied with its whole kind of juju bad stuff. So not only is it built on a pagan burial ground, millennial pagan burial ground, is also sat in the center of ley lines. Now, for those of you out there that don't know what ley lines are, they're ley lines or spiritual ley lines. And back hundreds and hundreds of years ago, when you had the Druids and you had the pagans and they were big, they used to use these spiritual ley lines as energies for spells and sacrifices and things. So if you Google ley lines, you'll actually see our country, and you'll see all of the ley lines, and they connect. So the Ram's Inn actually has a direct connection to Stonehenge in one of its ley lines.
Yeah.
And when you look at it closer, you'll actually see that it's on a little bit of a roundabout, which is why they say the house is so active, because if there are any spirits using said ley lines, they literally travel down the path. It's like a blooming M25.
Yeah, is it like a freeway?
Roundabout.
Honk honk.
Excuse me, sorry, Casper.
Yeah,
So that's why it's so active. And actually, the most interesting part about the ley lines, and I think I need to show you a picture of this cat, because I don't think I've ever shown you this photo, is that when you zoom out and you see the world, there's ley lines over the entire world, all connected to one another.
The earth. What, all of them?
All of them.
How many are there?
I don't know. See, this is the thing. So this is maybe one of the things that, maybe in another episode we can delve deeper into. And I probably should have looked a bit more, but I was too transfixed on the whole ghost thingy. But I don't know how many there are, but there are quite a few. It's actually in a pattern as well.
How odd.
Yeah. What I'll do is I will find the photo and I'll upload it, and then I'll send it to you, and then somehow I'll try and see if I can attach it to something with this episode, so people can at least have a look at the link of it, because it is very, very fascinating.
Yes, please.
Yeah, just everything's connected.
Odd.
Very odd. It's very, very odd. But that would explain so much about a lot of haunted destinations, I feel, especially when they're sat on some place like the ancient Ram Inn, where it's
and this place must be just on fire. Really,
it's on fire. Yeah, it's definitely on fire.
It's a hot spot for sure.
It's a hot spot, and it's not had the best atmosphere in the house. I mean, the guy that owned the house, when he first kind of moved in, he bought it as I don't remember how old he was when he bought it, but he and his family moved in, and one of his first nights of digging around actually found the bodies of young children that had been sacrificed.
Oh my God. If that doesn't make you want to run. Like, I don't know. Oh no, honey, it's nothing. We just found a couple of babies. That's okay.
Yeah, that's exactly. And his name was John Humphreys, and unfortunately, bless him, he passed away. So he's no longer with him. So rest in peace.
So sad.
Bless him. Yeah, so sad. But he was a very fascinating man to talk to about the house, because he knew the history of the house. And he was telling us, it used to be a home of, it was first built as a home for slaves and masons who were building the local church. And when they were building this local church, they had to move certain things, and they believed that somehow when they moved the rocks and stones of the ground, that they actually messed up the spiritual flow, which opened up a portal for bad energy underneath the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I mean, some people are going to listen to that story and be like, that's not real, and other people are going to think that it's real.
Right, we had to pause that for a
we
second.
had to pause that for a sec because people are annoying. I'm sorry. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
We can cut this out later.
We can just, I'm not cutting it out. People can know that people are yeah, welcome to Twisted Chamber.
Yeah.
Twisted. So so the stonemasons moved the pavement and it opened a portal for dark energies to come through. But you know what? There was no record of them ever experiencing anything. They built the church as normal. The house was sold, and it was sold to a priest. He was now I don't know what it is about priests back in the day. Maybe they were just not nice, right?
No, they were really horrible people. They really were. Not all of them. Some of them were very good and they did believe their religion, but a lot of them got to where they were because of lying. Because if you were a priest, you had money.
Yes. I mean, he was a priest who was a bit naughty with like prostitutes and things, that kind of a
and he owned the Ram's Inn.
He owned the Ram's Inn, yeah, he bought it. And so that was, I'm not sure, I tried to find some history about him to see whether there was anything that he experienced, but I actually haven't been able to find his name. I might have to keep looking and see if we can find his name. But later on, it was then turned into the inn and public house. And it then began to have some of its more historical, sinister moments in the house. I mean, there was some pirates at some point. Now, when they say pirates, yes, shiver me timbers, that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm not sure what kind of pirates they were, but they came, and apparently there is treasure buried underneath the Ram's Inn somewhere.
Oh, wow.
So there are various rooms in the house, and one of the rooms is the honeymoon suite. And I personally wouldn't stay here on my honeymoon because it wasn't very romantic. But they had a lovely red velvet bedspread in the room, and it was very dark and everything. And this used to be a meeting room before it was the honeymoon suite. So men used to come.
Yes.
Men used to come, and they used to come and meet in this room. Now, in that room, when I was in there, we had a little bit of a seance thing, just calling out to see if you would hear anything. And they had one of those EMF machines, and they put that on. They had these flashing balls, and every time you mentioned the word treasure, this went crazy, like beeping. Like, they don't like you to talk about the treasure in the house because they think you're going to find it and they think you're going to take it.
What?
Yeah.
See, that's insane.
It's completely insane. I mean, you might, people are like, oh, those machines are rigged. The people that I went with, they were just enthusiastic about ghost hunting as much as anybody else was. So it wasn't even like they were trying to make it fake. They were just trying to enjoy the night as much as we were. So, and I sat in the honeymoon suite in the room. I sat down at this long table, and when we first started with the ghost hunt, the guy was like, look, if you see anything, smell anything, hear anything, or feel anything, just shout it out. Don't care how random it is, just shout it out, because you never know that somebody else might also be feeling it. So I'm sat at the dinner table, and in my peripheral vision, there was a man sat next to me in a top hat. and I can see the outline of him as clear as day. Even now, I remember seeing it. It's like a silhouette. It was like he was really, really dark, but because he was sat in front of a window, the light was coming through. I could see him clear as day. But when I looked, there was nobody sat there. But every time I turned my head to face forward and looked, kind of was aware of my side vision, I could see him, like he was there.
See, oh, that's insane, man. And
you could feel it. It's really difficult to understand. It's really difficult to describe. And I mean, guys out there, if you've ever had any experiences like this, the same as me, there's that feeling that you have, and it's almost like when you are in a room and, like, you know, when we're at work and stuff, Kat, and I'm in a room or something, I can feel you coming in the room, like you can feel people behind you. It's that kind of feeling.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can feel somebody in a room staring at you.
Yeah.
It's that same kind of feeling of just eyes on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't explain it.
No.
But you can really, in your heart and your body, feel it. It's an energy that you cannot explain.
Yeah, no. Just, yeah, no. And it's that, and it's weird when you say about the energy, because it sucks your energy. Like,
I bet that place, even when he was sat next to you, I bet that you felt drained.
Yes. Yeah. You feel exhausted, but because your adrenaline's pumping at the same time because of everything that's going on, it's kind of almost like an exchange of power. You give and they take it, but then you're also getting power back because you're feeling excited because you've just seen something.
Like, and did you feel anything from him, like sadness or anything like that, or was he just a feeling of being sat down next to you? It was
just somebody sat down next to me. It was almost like I was part of the meeting. I felt like he was, because I felt like that table he was sat at, he wasn't sat alone, that there were other people sat around with him, and I was kind of part of that meeting, even though I was just sat there. Like, he didn't acknowledge me as such, but I kind of felt like he knew I was there. Because there's a lot of, almost like an echo, like a spiritual echo of them repeating the same thing. And then maybe that
Could you imagine repeating the same thing of just being sat down?
Mate, we've done it. We're in freaking quarantine.
Sorry, I had to take away from the horror for a second. Oh, goodness.
It's fine.
Continue.
Oh dear. So yeah, but that wasn't.
So what other experiences in the house after the seance then? And you guys were, what time would have this been?
So we had to be there at 11 o'clock at night. So it doesn't start. Well, actually, that's a lie. Sorry, we started at 10, and it's from 10 till about 4 a.m. in the morning. And so I'm not sure what time this was. This is quite early on in the evening, but for early on in the evening, it was still very active. We went, so upstairs, it's actually 3 floors. They have attic space as well. And upstairs, tragic story on one side of it is that there was 2 gentlemen. One gentleman had fallen in love. It's always love, isn't it? Had fallen in love.
Love.
I know. It's all right. Don't die for this shit.
Yeah.
He'd fallen in love with one of I think she was the mayor or somebody's daughter. She was very high up in her status. So he fell in love with her. And back then, obviously, I don't want to bring political or racial stuff into it, but we do for this story. He was a black man and she was a white woman, and they weren't allowed to be together because it was
they were in love.
They were in love. So they had an affair. They got found out, and the 2 men escaped and ran to the Rams Inn. Now the Rams Inn back then was the dark bar. Like, if you had problems or you were a bit rough or you were a pirate or a killer or anything like that, you went to the Rams Inn. That's where you hung out. That was your place to hide. So they went upstairs and they hid, And unfortunately, they found them upstairs in the attic and they hung them up there.
Oh,
So they're still there, and we went up into the attic. Now, one side of the attic, this building is very run down. If you go there, it's not like some luxurious mansion. It's a very, very old, rundown building. And so the attic had lots of beams, and you just couldn't walk over there. If you did, you probably would have fallen, and it would have been very painful. So you didn't go over there. So we were throwing stones, and we were having stones thrown back at us.
that's crazy.
Yeah. And it's that kind of thing that I've seen it on Most Haunted. You watch all these shows, don't you? You watch Most Haunted,
Yep.
and all of these things, and you hear bangs and footsteps, and you hear things being thrown, and you're like, oh, there's someone in the next room that's throwing that. It's not real. Fucking, it was real.
Well, exactly, because you're there experiencing it, and you know nobody's there.
Nobody was there, like literally no one. And it was and the more we did it and the more we were happy about it, the more it happened. So again, it was that energy exchange, them taking our energy to be able to do more things. Yeah, really. And then up in the attic again, the guy was like, right, guys, I want you to hold each other's hands, and I'm going to ask the spirits to do something. And the attic wasn't light. It was reasonably quite dark up there. There were a few little kind of torches hung just so that we didn't fall on things. And the guy was like, right, I want the room to go darker. So I was like, okay, what is this? Like, what's going to happen? And on my life, right, this dark smog started to rise from the floor up.
How?
Mate,
who was smoking in the house?
I swear, literally, it rose, and
oh my God,
a thing, not a thing. And you know what, anyone that's listening to this, I cannot tell you enough that is the 100% truth. You might think that I'm talking rubbish and that this is one of those things where I'm in the next room throwing stones so that we can fake stuff. It's not. I swear to you, I could not see in front of my face. Like, it was dark.
Yeah, see, I don't like things that are that dark. I can't even walk in the countryside. Now it gets very dark where I live. There are no street lights. I am out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I hate I can't go for a walk if I know it's going to get dark.
Yeah.
Because I am terrified that something's going to jump at me.
Yes. That's why we're called Twisted Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, it was a horrible, it was almost like, I don't know.
Did it feel like a bad energy?
It didn't feel bad. It just was really creepy. It was like somebody had put their hands over my eyes. That's what it was like. And actually, this is an experiment, right? And everyone that's listening can do this as well. And actually, this is what it was like. If you put your hands on your cheeks so that they're floating and slowly lift them up over your eyes until it's completely covered, that's what it was. And then don't make it go. That's what it was like.
Oh my gosh. I would have been running. I would have been gone.
Yeah, that's what it was like.
I am a runner. I will tell everyone this right now. I don't like being in situations that make me uncomfortable. So I will get out straight away. I am an outer.
Gotta go. Yep.
You know, I can't be dealing with stuff like that. So that's 3 experiences in a couple of hours.
In a couple of hours.
And you haven't even walked out yet.
No.
She's keen.
Oh, I'm keen. And then we went into another bedroom opposite. And in there we did the Ouija board. So this is my Ouija board experience. And so I've obviously done a Ouija board at home before, but I've never experienced the Ouija board like I did there. So we just set it on the floor. Three of us sat round, and you move the, I want to say pointer or glass object. There was a glass pointer on it. You move it round in a circle really, really, really fast to get the energy going on the board, to get the friction going. I couldn't take my finger off of the pointer. It was stuck on there, and it was ice cold on there. And
I just can't.
Like it was ice cold, and as it was going round and round and round, there was we were like, you know, is anybody there? And it shot to yes. And when I mean shot, I couldn't take my finger off, and I was pulled to the other side of the board where it moved that fast. It pulled me, and I couldn't take my finger off of the cursor thing. It pulled me.
That's insane.
It was insane. Yes. And who did it? And who cat did it have a message for? Just guess.
Oh, it's gonna be you.
This fucking thing had a message for moi.
Of course it did.
Yep, and it pointed to me. It didn't spell out my name. It didn't spell out my initials, or it wasn't asking. I didn't ask the question. Somebody else was like, do you want to, I think she said, do you want to talk to somebody? And it shot straight to me. That same pulling action shot straight to me and almost off the board. And then I think somebody was like, do you have a message? And it came back straight for me. And I went cold and scared.
Oh my gosh.
Felt fear like I've never felt it in my stomach was in knots, and I actually had to leave. I said to the guy, I was like, I can't do this, I have to leave. He was like, you're right. I was like, nope. I said, I can't be in this room. I need to get out of this room. I'm absolutely petrified. And I felt like there was somebody stood behind me. I was scared, Kat.
Oh my God.
I was scared.
See, that's the worst feeling, I think. You know, you can have all these ghosty experiences and things, but it's a different, which we'll get on later, but it is a different kind of feeling when you feel scared. That's something that I cannot explain to anybody, but people will have that feeling 100%. You know, I'm sure that all of you have had that absolute dread in your stomach because you are experiencing something that, again, you cannot explain, but you know you're in trouble.
Yes.
You are in trouble.
Yes.
This is something evil and wrong, and you need to get out.
Yeah. Well, that was it. It was that fight or flight moment.
Yes.
And I literally, and my finger was still stuck. Like I couldn't get it off of. It wasn't I could obviously lift it up, but it was like a magnet was pulling it back down again. So I had to fight with it for a second to get my finger off of it. And it was ice cold for ages afterwards. Like my one finger was cold, the rest were fine.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Honestly,
it's a good thing I have my blanket.
Yes. And it's just, and it was so, and it, like, in the whole house I had a really good experience. That experience freaked me out. And then the second
how long were you outside then?
What do you mean outside?
When you went outside, because you couldn't handle it anymore.
Oh yeah, so I went outside. I literally went down because this was up in the loft, so I had to go down the stairs, right? And you know, the guy said to me, he was like, "Do you know the story about this room?" I was like, "No." They were like, when his daughter slept in that bedroom, she woke up in the middle of the night to somebody whispering in her ear, telling her to run. She got out of bed, run down the stairs, and her dresser basically was thrown down the stairs after her.
What? Oh my God. Once again, poltergeist happening in the house.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's insane. Yeah. But and then she moved out. So he was married. He's got his wife, and I think he's got 2 daughters. And he was married. He's still married, but his wife and daughter, one daughter refused to live with him, but one daughter remained. And then that happened to her. I think she was about 13 at the time, and she moved out and refused to move back into the house. So he lived in the house on his own.
Yeah, I'm with that child. I think that child made the best decision of her life.
Yes.
Because if a dresser is thrown down the stairs after you, you're living in the wrong house. You need to leave now. You need to go. That's insane. I wouldn't be able to handle stuff like that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
You know, the sage, the crystals, the crucifix would be coming out.
Yes. Yes. Honestly, it's just, yeah. But so when I met him, he said that he had to stay in the house because he knew how haunted it was. He didn't want anybody else to have to go through what he went through in this house. So
And
that's why he
see,
stayed.
that's crazy.
And he said, like, when he first moved in, I think one night he woke up in the middle of the night and he was thrown out of his bed across the room.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Like, I know people have dreams. Like, okay, here's a skeptical thing being thrown out of the bed, okay?
Yeah.
When you're a kid or if you're having a very serious dream, you fall out of bed.
Yes.
Okay? So, how far away from the bed was he? And how big of a dream was he actually having? Because dreams can get quite real, man.
Yeah, I know they can. I don't know, but he said he was thrown across the room.
Oh, yeah. See,
So,
that's something that you wouldn't be able to explain
No.
to anyone, but the fear of going back to bed the
I know.
next night.
I know.
How could you live like
Yeah.
that? I know
Yes.
people have financial troubles or problems where they cannot move. And I understand that, but oh my God, I will give it to the people that can deal with that
Yeah.
for longer than one night.
I think, and as well, he during his dreams, obviously being thrown out the bed, and also during his dreams, they told him to keep building, keep building this hotel. So keep building it to make it bigger, keep changing the rooms. And as each room they told him to change, like the first room they told him to change, which was the bar, when he started digging it, that's where he found the children, the bones of children that they think dated back to when the pagans used to sacrifice people.
Wow.
And they buried them there. It was kind of like a devil worship. Devil worshiping. There's a few of the artifacts that were found there and photos of the scene when he first dug it up there, and there's like things there that you would only maybe associate with a bad spell.
Some
dolls,
like voodoo, witchcraft,
witchcraft,
crazy stuff.
And they reckon it was devil worshipping, and that's why the children were sacrificed.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And those two
back in the day.
Yeah. And those two children are still in the house and they're scared. When we made contact with them, they were scared of the ghosts in the bishop's room.
See, I've heard of the bishop's room.
I don't even like talking about the bishop's room.
Yeah. Everyone, it's a bad place.
Honestly, this was my worst experience that I've ever had with spirits. And actually, these aren't even spirits, they're actually demons. So the bishop's room is, I think it was one of the most expensive rooms in the Ram's Inn, i.e. the bishop's room. I think there's been multiple kind of murders in that room, and most of them are linked to an incubus and a succubus.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone. Like, incubus and succubus.
Sounds like an episode of Scooby-Doo. But I was reading, and actually I do want to do another episode about these two
yeah, I agree.
Creations that I'll call them creations because they were created, I'm guessing, because they were definitely never human. And an incubus and a succubus. The incubus is the male version of this demon, and he is imagine, I don't know, who can we imagine? I'm trying to think of a hot guy. Anyone, think of your celebrity crush. You're asleep.
Wow.
Which one?
If we want to put crushes into it, let's just go ahead and make Johnny Depp
Right, Johnny Depp.
the incubus, please. Thank you.
Okay, I'm not sure this is a good idea, but we can go with this for now. You might want to change your mind in a minute.
Is this not the sexy one? See, this is where I get confused.
No, it is. He needs to be sexy. So Johnny Depp is the sexy incubus in your dreams, and he is sexy and then starts beating you.
Oh, lovely. Okay, Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy, everyone. Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Starts beating you and abusing you basically in your sleep and makes you feel so low. You lose self-esteem, you lose confidence, you lose, this, and it's a repeated thing every single night after night after night. And because you end up being so tired, you start having hallucinations about him during the day. So you can never escape this gorgeous man that wants to kick the shit out of you, basically, and make you feel like crap. And
what
eventually,
boyfriend material.
I know, sexy. And eventually leads to suicide. That's how
great.
Kill
Lovely.
you. And then you have the succubus, the female version, and she is a goddess. She is beautiful, this woman.
Kate Winslet.
Yes, Kate Winslet. She would be perfect in a movie. I'm going to suggest that.
Yeah.
Make an incubus and succubus movie. So Kate Winslet, and she's stunning, and she makes you think that the guys, this is for men, makes you think that you're having an affair with her, but it's so real. So you might already be married or have a girlfriend, and guys, every night she comes to you, she's your wildest fantasy, and she comes to you every night, and she is there, and
I think her and I need to have a conversation.
And every night she comes and she's so beautiful, but you honestly think you're having an affair. It drives you mad. Their idea is to basically separate you from the real world and drive you insane in their world, which causes people to commit suicide.
Wow.
So when I was in this room, we were in a circle and doing the usual calling out, is anybody there? Does anybody have any messages or anything like that? And all of a sudden, I felt really heavy. My shoulders were really heavy. I kind of just felt a bit sick as well. I started to get this nausea feeling in my stomach. And then I started to get this nasty taste in my mouth. And I'm really starting to not feel very well. I'm starting to really, and I can't describe to you the feeling that I was getting, but it was really a really kind of gut-wrenching, sickening feeling that it was not nice. It was a very sinister feeling. I felt like I'd been poisoned by something. It was that burny kind of, it was really my esophagus and everything. It was just really awful. And then all of a sudden I was so upset. I burst into tears. I'm in a room full of complete strangers and never met these people before. I was with two friends and I literally burst into tears, and I was unable to be consoled. It was awful. One of my friends, she led me outside and took me into the bathroom, and I literally booed my eyes out, like messy, ugly crying. I'm crying for about 10 minutes.
No.
Like, my friend's like, I don't understand what's wrong. And I looked at her and I was like, I don't know what's wrong. Like, literally, I had no idea. But I felt so sad. I felt so down and so kind of, I feel like I'm going to feel a bit choked up about it right now.
Oh, gosh. Here she goes again. She's a crier.
I'm a crier. I am a crier. So I am a crier. I'm not going to lie. So I kind of felt really it's that feeling it's that sadness. So after about 10 minutes, I kind of then started to feel a bit better, and it kind of slowly kind of escaped my body. It was like bits of it slowly coming out, and then I was fine. And it was fine. And then I was just like,
but think about that. That's a lot of experiences to have in one household.
Yes. This is why people should go.
This is the thing. Like, you could only wish for those things to happen to you if you were into stuff like this.
Yes, exactly that. Yes.
Is that all of that's how many? 5?
That's 5. There were a few more.
Is there more? Oh my God, I have to go to this house.
It's so active. It's so active. It's just a lot of things. And obviously, when I recovered and I then went back into the room, every single sensory appliance that they had for censoring spirits, voices, and everything went absolutely nuts. As soon as I went
Wow.
straight back in the room, and the guy that was leading the group, he was like, "Oh," says, "You must really like Natasha," and everything was going beep, 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 crazy. And I was like, I'm done. I'm done.
Wow.
Done at that point. We'd been in the house for a good 5 hours, and as much as I wanted to continue, at that point I was done. That's my second kind of.
You must have been drained.
Yeah. I mean, my phone battery lasted 10 minutes. It was gone.
Wow.
I had to take extra batteries for my torch because they only lasted about 20 minutes, if that. They were gone. So it was constantly sucking energy so that they could speak and they could interact with us. That was what, that's what happens. When you go to these places, and guys, if you do decide to go to a haunting place,
well, the Rams in.
There you go.
When we're allowed out again.
Yeah, when we're allowed out, when we're not stuck on house arrest. But yeah, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. But then I know one of your stories is slightly different to that because.
Yeah. And this is the thing, like everyone's experiences are so different.
Yeah.
I would say that like, if you go to these places and go for the hauntings itself,
yes,
you're actively wanting to find the problem or find a haunting or an experience of some kind. I did not get that. I did not want an experience.
No, I know.
I really didn't. I didn't believe
in. I need a teddy for this, guys. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Grab a teddy. Grab some.
It's my turn. Yeah. So like Natasha's stories, with these places that you go to find a haunting, it's different. They have seances, they'll do Ouija boards, they'll do all these things to summon a spirit. I just went to the Lake District.
Don't go to the Lake District, guys.
I went to the Lake District. Now, I can't tell you hardly any backstory behind this house other than the fact that it was very, very old. It used to be a barn of some kind, and then they refurbished the whole place so that they could rent it out. So apparently in the Lake District, a lot of houses are where the bedroom is on the bottom floor with the bathroom, and then upstairs it's a kitchen and a living room so that you can look out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this house had that, but everything was on a 45-degree angle. And now when I mean 45-degree angle, I mean the tables had to be on a 45-degree angle, all the furniture, all the cabinets. Upstairs was so crooked, they had to make the floor and the all the couches and the chairs, they had to lay on the floor straight. So they had to. And that was very odd to me, right? So we would go upstairs and you'd walk down 45 degrees downwards.
Really? Oh,
but all the furniture was level.
That's like a mind. That's like a weird mind game.
Yes, and it was all very weird, right? So, I'm American. My husband wanted to go to Lake District. I had never been. So we get up to this house and I see it and it's so cool. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so old. Everything in England is old.
Yeah.
I had never seen anything like it before. And it is so pretty up there. We did a lot of hiking. It was just so nice.
Yeah.
And I remember the first night we were there and I was on the couch, and where the couch is, the kitchen is behind you. So you can see it's quite open planny, right? So the whole kitchen's behind me, and then you have the staircase going down the stairs. Now we were watching TV, and again, that feeling. I had never felt that feeling before because I've never believed in ghosts. I thought it was all fake. I lived in a very Christian household that it was, no, if anything, nothing is out there. You die and you go somewhere, but there are no ghosts, right? So I never believed in that. So we were in this house and we were sat there, and I felt like someone was staring at me. I
Oh,
mean, I felt eyes on me, and I kept looking
oh,
behind me. And my husband, now my husband, he looked at me and he was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, nothing, you know." And I didn't want to say to a guy I was dating, right? Is there like something over there? Like, is like there an animal or something looking at me? Like, I thought I was just being paranoid or
oh
tired or
God.
something.
Yeah.
So we went to bed. We went hiking again the next day, came back to the house,
Nice.
had dinner, sat on the couch, and again
Oh
that
no, it's like a
feeling,
creeper.
it really was. Now I felt it was worse than the night before. And I did, and maybe I shouldn't have kept looking over my shoulder, right? Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. But I just felt like I did not belong there and I
Yes.
shouldn't be there, right?
You
I was
would,
very much
wouldn't you?
unwanted.
You would keep looking back though if you felt that. That's like a natural thing to do.
It is, because if even if you're, say you're out somewhere and you're sat at a table and someone's staring at you from behind, you'll look behind your shoulder because you think that someone's staring at you, right?
Mm.
It's just human nature.
Yes.
And so I did that. And again, you know, Oliver just didn't say anything this time, right? He didn't feel anything really that night. And I kind of was looking at him to see if he was doing the same thing, right? Maybe
Yeah.
he's looking behind his shoulder as much as I am, right? You know, but again, we went to bed, but that night was different.
Well,
That night,
no.
I woke up at, again, the witching hour.
Oh, that
Now this is why,
hour.
yeah, this is why we talked about this before, because this one was at 3:20 exactly.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
woke up out of bed, and it was very like much a shot out of bed feeling, right? I was up and I needed to go to the bathroom immediately, right?
Oh,
I felt like I had
really?
to pee, and it was a weird, like, you better hurry up, you're not going to make it kind of, you need to pee
Yes.
so bad, right?
Yes.
So when you come out of the bedroom and you walk maybe 5 steps, the staircase up to the kitchen and the living room is on your left, right?
Okay.
So I was walking, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw something move on the staircase. Now, everyone, when you see something move, run. I don't care. I don't care. I should have run at
Yeah.
that point. Right?
Yeah.
I really should have. Now,
Uh,
I turned towards it,
mm.
and
You're the horror movie girl that runs towards the danger.
well, I didn't feel like I was, but you know what? I did look at it. I didn't know what it was. I was very naive, and I didn't think that anything like that was real. I probably thought that it was my own shadow and I was looking towards it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
So, so how I looked, and this thing was not human.
Gosh.
I
What
did
did it?
not get the pleasure of seeing a human ghost
What did it look like?
for my first time.
Oh
Uh,
no.
this was definitely a demon. It had claw-like fingers. They were pointed. They were around the band, like I don't know what they're called. I never had a staircase in my house, right? But it's not where you put your hand going up the stairs. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
those wooden bits in between,
Oh, okay. I can't remember what they're
right?
called, but yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but it had its hands and it was knelt down
Oh my
on
God.
the staircase, level to me. It was level to me. Like when a dog, right,
Yeah.
goes up the stairs and looks at you from
Yeah. Yeah.
from the staircase, and you're at a level eye
Oh my God.
at this
Oh
point.
my. Hold on a minute. You were that close.
Well, it was only a hallway. That's all it
Okay.
was. This was a hallway. This
Okay.
wasn't like you know, and when this happened and I saw this thing and red beady eyes, same as you would think in a horror film.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
It was horrible. And it was the dread. Now I felt dread like I've never felt dread ever in my life because I knew that I was seeing something I shouldn't be seeing.
Wow.
This was evil. I couldn't move. Now I'm a runner. I could not move my legs. I was stuck.
Oh my God.
I was stuck there. I had no control over my limbs. And all I could hear was its voice. Now, it wasn't speaking out loud to me.
What?
It wasn't. Nothing was said out loud. But what I heard was, get out. I will kill you. You don't belong here. Just awful things, right? So, as anyone could imagine, hey, if you ain't religious, then that's fine. I'm not religious, but oh, damn, did I pray? I prayed so hard,
Oh
Tash.
my God.
I really did.
Did
Because
you pray?
I was shitting myself. I couldn't move. And the bathroom was closer to me at that point, right?
Yeah.
That bathroom is closer to me than that bedroom. And I was already in the position because I had looked at this thing. I didn't turn my body completely. My legs were stuck, but they were towards the toilet.
Oh my God.
So could you imagine?
I'm a bit scared.
I
Right.
know.
Yes.
You know, so I started praying, and I mean praying. I was like, God, just get me to that bathroom. I can shut the door and I can pray some more and turn the lights on or something, right? This is not real. You know, I don't know what I'm seeing, but this is not right. Like, I'm not listening, la, 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 la. You know, you're trying to like close your
Yes.
ears because I just felt like it was saying the most horrible things and I didn't want to listen.
Oh my
I don't want to
God.
listen. I don't want to hear it. You know, like when you're a little kid and you put your fingers in your ears,
Yes.
you know, with your sibling. I don't want to hear it. La, 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 you know, that was me in my
Oh
head.
my God.
It was so odd, right?
Wow.
So all of a sudden, I get feeling in my leg, and I mean quick.
Oh.
It was like blood rushing up my legs.
Oh my
And
God.
once I felt that, right,
Yes.
I ran.
Oh my God.
I
Yes.
ran. I ran so hard to that bathroom, right?
Yeah.
Slammed the door.
Yeah.
Now, in this
What?
house, this is the
Yeah.
worst house I've ever been in, right? It had a cutout, a square cutout in the
Yeah.
bathroom, looking towards the staircase.
Oh no.
Right? I've never known anything like it. And I was like, oh my God, people are going to walk around in your house and see you take a dump in your own house because you have a cutout. Like, who does that?
I don't know, but
Just,
that's a weird bathroom. I'd be nervous.
you know, frost a window or something. Okay. People don't need to see that.
Or a little
They just don't.
curtain. Something.
Yeah, a curtain, anything.
Yeah, anything.
So this thing,
Oh no.
I call it a thing because I'm too scared to call it a demon. This thing turned itself and looked at me through that hole.
Did it?
It looked at me. And what I heard, now this is what I heard. I know that other people might say that I'm making this up. I'm telling you right now, I swear on my grandmother's life, who is a saint. She is a saint. That this is real. This is what I felt. Now, this thing turned itself, looked at me, and said, do you think you can run away from me that easily?
What?
And
in your mind?
This was in my head.
Oh my God.
And
what?
I didn't know how it was happening. So you can imagine how confused I was.
Well,
because number one, I didn't believe in anything like this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I didn't want to believe in anything like this. Okay. I was honestly really scared. And even talking about it right now, it freaks me out to bring it up. And I hate it because I wish that wasn't my first story. I wish I had a happy, rosy, ghostly experience. But this was not good.
No.
This was very bad.
Yeah.
Now I prayed again.
Yes.
And because I had to get to that bedroom, I didn't know what to do.
Yes.
And, I was in this bathroom and I didn't want to take my eyes off of it because I didn't know where it would be. I was that scared.
Oh my word.
So I went, okay, Jesus, Jesus, please just, get me to that bedroom so I can just be in the bedroom because Oliver's in there. I can be in there and he can go with it with me. He can see what I'm seeing.
You'd need someone, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Why am I the only person to see this right now?
You're chosen one.
So I ran. And I ran so quickly. But what I heard behind me.
Oh, no.
Was it came down the freaking stairs.
Did it?
The thing moved. Now, people say that they hear footsteps, right?
Yes,
I heard this wasn't a big thing that I saw. It was a crouched down animalistic thing. It was heavy. If it was heavy, it would make that amount of noise.
Yeah, it would. That banging, just that, and just like imagine that sound like when you walk on wooden flooring, like on a floor, like it was wooden flooring.
Yep, it was wooden flooring. Yeah.
So, and you have shoes on of any description, let alone a set of claws. It makes that horrible noise. But that kind of clawing sound, I can hear it in my head, and I don't like it.
Yeah. This was banging. So as I was running, I heard banging behind me.
I get what you mean.
I was so scared that it was following me and it was going to grab me by the ankle or something.
Oh my God.
So I ran and slammed the door to the bedroom. Once I slammed that door, I felt nothing.
Oh.
I felt nothing. It was like it had disappeared.
Wow. I wonder.
And I was so scared. I was shaking.
Wow.
And when you like back away from a door and go, what the hell?
Oh my God. Yeah.
It was horrible. It was awful. And Oliver couldn't wake up. I couldn't wake him up.
Really?
Now, when you try to wake your husband up.
Yeah.
From a demonic experience. And they don't wake up. Now, here's the problem. He wakes up all the time.
What?
So I don't understand how he just didn't hear anything.
Wow.
It was so loud.
Insane.
How did you not hear it? How did you not hear those big bangs in the house?
In the house, yes.
That makes no sense to me. So the next morning when he was awake, I had kind of told him, I didn't go into full detail because I thought you would think I was crazy. But I told him I don't belong in this house. I felt really funny. I saw some shadows. I don't belong here. It told me to get out. I need to get out. Right?
Yeah.
And he goes, whoa, you don't believe in that. So you need to get over it. And we have one more day to stay here. I had to stay in that house again.
No.
I had to stay in that house again.
I'd have slept in the car. Seriously.
This is why I am now to this day, when I've had enough, I leave. No one can tell me otherwise, right? When you're dating, sometimes you don't do those things. Now, not anymore. I would be out because, again, the same thing. And I mean, the glares that night were so bad. I had the worst headache I'd ever had. And I went to bed and I woke up again at exactly the same time. Same feeling of wanting to go out. I put the covers over my head. I didn't go nowhere. I was not walking out of that bedroom. And when we left the next morning, I prayed and I said, you cannot come with me. You cannot come with me.
Yes.
Because I was so terrified that I might accidentally bring something from the house or just anything. It might put something in my bag. Like, could you imagine taking home a cursed item,
No.
which, you know, you don't know is cursed, and
Yeah.
you take it home and you
And
bring it
then-
home to your family?
Yeah. And then that's it. That's it. Then you have that, and then it stays in the house.
Exactly. Now, this is why I will not use a Ouija board, because of this experience.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to summon whatever that was ever again.
So guys, I actually, for this podcast, I had to ask Kat if she would tell this story. She's told me bits of this story before, but I had to ask her if she would tell the story of her.
I really didn't want to talk about it.
No, she didn't want to talk about it, and I've said on numerous occasions that we should read. Now, I'm really I'm really keen on researching this demon thing. Kat is not. Which
No,
I
don't want it in my house.
No, which I understand from her point of view why she doesn't want it researched at all. But just so that we, like, it's some scary shit, right?
That thing was evil.
Yes.
Now, I don't ever want to feel evil like what I felt that night.
No.
Because that was some demonic crap, man. It was bad. It was really bad. I was affected for a long time after that.
Imagine. Yes.
And it's taken me, I would say, quite a long time to kind of open up that experience box, because every day since that time, I feel like I'm more aware of the supernatural world or unexplained world.
Yes.
I feel more things. I see more things. So I don't know if it made me more susceptible.
It might have done. It might have, like, opened up a little bit of a gateway between.
It must have.
Something.
It must have done. But it was too much. I don't want to experience it again. You know. No, couldn't do it.
No.
Well, do you have any other experiences other than the Rams Inn?
The Rams Inn, I haven't really, I've had many experiences in terms of things like when I used to work at Inglewood Health Farm. We had, there was lots of ghost stories running around there.
This is it. There are so many ghost stories.
Is
it you put it in your head and you manifest it? You know, could that be a thing? You know, because I'm just trying to do it for all the people out there that are a bit skeptical or they don't believe in it. You know, look, I didn't believe in it. I didn't want to believe in it. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. And now it's just an open plate for me, because I've had other experiences now that are ghostly and more human than the demonic part.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Oh, okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I have.
Oh, tell me.
Oh, right. So anyone who doesn't know, right? Hampton Court, right?
I love that place.
Oh, it's such a beautiful place. If you haven't been, you need to go. It's just stunning. It's near London. So I'm going to give you a little history behind it, because this place is quite old, obviously. It was built by Cardinal Wolsey in the 16th century. Now, this was Henry VIII's right-hand man, okay? They were very, very close. And Wolsey started to build Hampton Court, right? So he started building this beautiful castle. Well, Henry VIII loved it.
Of course.
And surprise, surprise, Wolsey fell from favor. So, so some drama happened.
Henry VIII was such a finical, picky king. I've never known any king like it. Honestly.
He's such an interesting guy. If you do want to look into more of his life, he was just insane. He was insane. You know, so he loved this castle so much. So all of a sudden, Wolsey, started getting some real drama. And so he gifted the king Hampton Court. He gifted
really?
it to him.
Why does anyone
Just-
give me a castle?
I know. I wish I had one.
Yes.
But yeah, he just gave it to him because he
wow.
wanted everyone to know that he was still for the king, right?
Oh.
He had to do it. He was forced to give up his house. The poor guy
Yes.
was forced to give up his house for the king. Sorry.
Yes, he was.
Now this house, so Hampton Court has 1,000 rooms.
Wow.
1,000 rooms. That's insane to me.
It's just, I need one of them Segway things so I could just go in every single room. Like
Yeah,
a
I
little
know.
racetrack around it.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it would just be so much
It
fun
would be
to
the
like
best
go in
thing.
there and play like you were a little kid.
Yeah. Yes.
So do you know Henry VIII? Do you know the rhyme?
Oh.
Because there's a lot of stories behind Hampton Court, you guys. He
Which-
was a bad person. Henry
was.
VIII was awful.
He was.
He made up his own religion so that he could get divorced.
Yes.
Now he married 6 wives.
Yes.
The rhyme is divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, he's a monster, an absolute monster.
Yes.
And he was actually king for 36 years.
He was a long-standing king. But
Which that's a long time.
it's a long time, but the man was disgusting. Sorry.
He was so gross.
Just so
Gout,
gross.
fat, horrible. His clothes.
Syphilis.
This is a fact.
Yeah.
His clothes actually melted into his skin.
Right. No. What?
That's how, yeah. That's how dirty and unbathed he was.
Unbathed.
Yes. His skin was growing on his clothes.
That man is disgusting. Honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now Henry's third wife, her name was Jane Seymour.
Yep.
I'm gonna get to the trauma of this house. Now, she died 12 days after giving birth to her son.
Oh.
So the rumor or the ghost story is she is apparently seen walking the halls and with a lit candle on the birthday of her son. And people say that they see her and she's like a white silhouette.
Oh wow.
And she's just walking down the hallway with a candle.
Wow.
Could you imagine seeing that?
Just would be freaky.
Or the sadness of it.
Yes.
You know, because to be a woman back in that day, your life goal was to get married to a rich man.
Yes,
and bear their children. That was it.
That was it.
That was your life. Maybe
Yes.
sew something every now and then.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really the best environment for them.
No.
So she's passed away, bless her. But Henry's fifth wife, Catherine Howard.
Yes.
She was beheaded. Yeah, she was beheaded for adultery and treason.
Oh
okay?
wow.
Yeah. The girl was young. Apparently she was sleeping with her cousin, as you did.
Oh, as you did. Yeah.
Right. Well, when they went to tell her that she was gonna be beheaded, she ran screaming down the corridor to beg the king for forgiveness.
Oh wow.
She was begging.
Yeah.
Now he never gave her any forgiveness, obviously, because she got beheaded. The guards dragged her back down the hallway, kicking and screaming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd have run and screamed in the other direction, like out.
Yeah, I would have ran outwards. Or if I would have heard rumors or whatever, I would have been gone. But she was, and who knows if she ever did this, because he was very avengeful, this man, and he just didn't look out for his wife. It wasn't he did change a religion to get divorced at the end of the day. He didn't care. He wasn't ever in love with anybody. He did horrible things, you know.
Yes, he did do horrible, mean things. He was, yeah, he's definitely one of the most one of our most historical royal figures, I think, in terms
Oh,
of
100%.
yeah,
100%.
yeah,
So down that corridor where she ran kicking and screaming, I felt something. Now, I was there with my husband and we were just walking, and it was like the room went dark.
Oh, wow.
In front of my eyes.
Oh, wow.
It was just odd. And all of it, I just started crying.
Oh, wow.
I was crying my eyes out. And he looks at me and he was like, oh my gosh, could you imagine your girlfriend starting to cry in the middle of Hampton Court?
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
And guys, Kat's not a crier. Like, I will watch something similar on the telly, and I'll ring her and I'll be like, oh my God, I booed my eyes out. And her reaction is, I laughed.
Yeah.
My friend.
I don't cry. I don't like it. It's a form of weakness and no one needs it. I just can't. I can't do it. Right. But I was booing.
Yep.
I felt so sad. I've never felt sadness like it. And I had to sit down because I felt so lightheaded.
Yes.
And Oliver was like patting my back and he was like, I think you need to get out of here, because I think he figured out that I was having some kind of problem, like something was wrong, because that's not me. That is not me. I don't just start crying for nothing. We were walking around. I didn't see anything sad, I just don't do that. So I was pushed out of the room. Oh, wow. So Oliver took me off of the chair and got me out of that room.
Yes.
And I was fine.
Oh, wow.
It was like a light switch.
Wow. Wow.
But I knew I felt sad. But I don't know why I was crying. Right. Like, it was just the weirdest experience, like that ever.
Overwhelming kind of sadness.
It is. And it's a real feeling. I have to say, I don't look for these things. No. I don't want to. I don't want to look for them. I've never looked for them before. They come to me. And I think that's the scariest part. Because, so there's two sides to Hampton Court, okay? Because King Henry VIII obviously owned Hampton Court, and it was in the Tudor times. But King William III, he rebuilt and extended most of it. So there's two parts of that palace that don't make sense.
Oh, really?
Right? Because they're in two different centuries here.
Oh, okay.
Right? There's the Tudor architecture, right? Which is very, very different. And then you had it's quite an odd word, Baroque, right?
Okay.
So it's a 17th century architecture style and art. It's like French, right? Very French architecture and stuff. So William and Mary, his wife, now, she is an interesting human.
Okay.
She was a very interesting human being. She ruled when he was gone. It looked like he was gone quite a lot. A lot. Oh. She married him when she was 15. Oh, and she
really?
Cried for 2 days.
I would cry.
So it was like, now I had to think of it like Ever After. Have you ever seen Ever After? Please.
I'm not sure.
Okay, Drew Barrymore. It's the best Cinderella story you'll ever watch ever in your life.
Okay.
And the prince is walking down the aisle with the Spanish bride, and she's walking down the aisle and she's crying her eyes out every step. Right? Oh God! It is the funniest thing. Now, this is what really happened to this child. She did cry the whole time.
Oh, you would.
Now, I find that so sad.
Oh, it's so sad.
After that, it looked like she did love him at the end. Okay. They probably fell in love, but they were very unhappy, unfortunately. I think it's because, she miscarried 3 times.
Okay. Oh, did she?
Yeah,
Oh,
she did.
bless
She
her.
never had any children at all. Now, is very relevant because I didn't know that she didn't have any children, right? I love history. I love learning about new things and things that have happened before. Now, she was really into her perfumes, her oils, and this is what the people at Hampton Court told me, because I like to hear from like the historians or people that are there.
Yes.
And back in that time, it was, you weren't allowed to have a bath. You know, you didn't have baths every day.
No,
Never.
no.
You never did that. It was people probably smelled like death back then. Okay, let's be honest, right? People did not shower.
No.
They did not bathe.
No,
Or
they
if
did
they
not.
did, they used the same bath water.
Yes.
You know, it was a gross time back
It's
then.
gross,
Okay.
yes.
So she had all these oils and perfumes and roses and just lovely things. Now, I think this woman did this. This woman knows her self-care. Thank you. Okay. She had a kingdom to rule. She had 3 miscarriages, which probably made her really depressed. Really depressed. And this girl self-cared like crazy.
That's
but
nice.
Yeah. And not only that, they were unhappy, and William did have an affair. He cheated on her.
Oh
He did.
no,
So
Batham.
and this is it. The poor girl has 3 miscarriages. She married you at 15 years old. She's lost her entire life, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to go and you're going to cheat on her.
Yes.
Like, how horrible are you? But you know what?
really-
It really looks like she must have turned him or something, because he fell in love with her again.
Oh.
Before she died.
Okay.
She died of smallpox. She was my age. She was 32.
Oh wow.
That's
so young. That's so young.
That's really young, everyone.
So
It's really young.
we're not going to talk about how
continue
young.
to tell myself.
We're not going to talk. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Shh. We're not going to say numbers here.
We're not going to talk about age.
We're not going to talk about that.
Or older.
Yeah. You know. So because she used all these oils and stuff. So we were walking towards that area where Hampton Court becomes this new, century. And I walked through a doorway into her, I think it's the study. It's like all connected down a hallway, all these rooms, right? It's really beautiful. But we went through the study, and then it's her bathroom and where she bathed. Now, when I walked in there, I went through cobwebs.
Oh, yes.
At least I thought it was cobwebs, because nothing was on my face. But I went through sticky cobwebs.
Yes.
And I had this extreme smell of floral perfume.
Wow.
It was strong. It was like someone went in there with Febreze and just Febrezed everything. That's how it felt.
Oh,
right?
wow.
I was like, they must have a mold problem.
I was going to say,
you know. And we were walking down, and my husband, he started asking questions to all these people, like, what's it like to work here? Or, have you guys experienced anything? Because this was the second time that we had gone to this castle to see it, because I love going there. So this was the second time. And again, another experience, another time.
Yes.
And we were walking down, which I didn't think was an experience. I thought I walked through cobwebs and someone oversprayed the Febreze. So we were walking, we got to the end of this hallway, and my husband started talking to this girl, and she looked at me and she goes, "Did you smell anything when you were walking through the first door?" And I was like, I'm sorry, what do you mean? And she's like, "What did you smell?" And I was like, I said, "Okay, I smelled perfume." And she goes, "Oh." She goes, "Okay, all right." She goes, "I've asked you this question because a psychic told me if anyone smells a floral perfume, they have come they have come in contact with the queen.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Right? And I said, no. I said, you guys must have sprayed something. Like, don't be stupid. And she goes, I'm telling you right now, I've been trying to get people to tell me what they smell
Oh.
just to see what happens.
Oh.
She goes, I'm telling you, no one has told me that. She goes, you have smelled something that no one else has smelled other than that psychic.
Wow.
Because we've never smelled any floral. We don't spray anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, come on. I was like, something must have been there. She goes, no, I'm telling you right now, I've never smelled anything ever resembling what that woman described. And you have just described the same thing.
Wow.
It was weird.
That's weird. It's more sensitive then as well.
I think that because of my first experience, I am.
Yes.
I don't want to be, but maybe I am.
Yes.
I don't want to open the door either. Everyone, I'm not doing it. No Ouija boards. See you later. I am playing that game.
She's not going to come and play with me.
No. But, you know, I do feel like I am very sensitive. But you're very sensitive as well.
Yes, I think so. Yes, I kind of keep an open mind about it because I'm a bit like, I want to experience everything. Like, I just want to do it all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you kind of want to go to these places so the experiences can get bigger and more, so that we're not just, I want to hear voices and stuff more. Might be asking for trouble when I say that, but you know.
Well, then you are asking for trouble.
I am asking for trouble. Yeah, but it's okay. I don't mind.
I wouldn't be able to. No. Yeah. All these experiences that I have had, they have come from nothing.
Yes. Well,
absolutely nothing. And I don't want any more. I've had enough. I'll probably try because I've never tried, and hey, you know, but
keep going.
If I'm cold, I won't say that there's a present next to me because I get cold all the time.
Yes. Yeah. You see, when I went to see a medium psychic quite a few years ago now, and she said to me when I went in there, she said to me that the spirit world, they always try and talk to you, but you don't listen. And she said you should listen, and I've never really explored that a bit more because I don't really know what doors I need to open. I don't want to open the wrong ones, if that makes sense.
Well, this is the problem. And then I think this is where people do the wrong thing and you let evil in. You know, that's not what you want to do. And if you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't be doing it. Yeah. Because once you open that door, you cannot shut it.
No, you can't. No. And that's the thing. I mean, the lady that I went to see, she had spirits talk to her all the time. I mean, during my reading, she would stop and she'd mumble something incoherently. Well, to me, it sounded incoherent and not really making much sense to the space next to her. And then I'd be like, what are you doing? And then she'd look at me. She said, sorry, just if I do that, she said, I need to talk to them quickly. So they were constantly talking to her. I mean, I want to go to sleep at night. I don't want that.
Yeah, I need my sleep.
I need my sleep.
I can't be talking to spirits all night. It's not really. I don't want to be like that little kid in what's that film called?
I See Dead People.
Yeah. I don't want to be seeing dead people in my sleep. I'm good.
No, that's Sixth Sense.
I am good.
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder what people think of our little experiences.
I know. And guys, if you have any experiences, I will be uploading an email address for people to email us with any stories and stuff. But honestly, if you want to write in with any experiences you've had, if you've had an experience with a demon-like figure, black claws with red eyes, I would be really interested in hearing about these because I do.
Natasha's gonna love those emails. I am going to pee myself.
I really want to find out what it was. So I'm would love to hear if anybody has experienced anything like that, because that would just, give me some more direction as to where I'm looking for things like that, because I've seen a few things online about it, but not anything at the minute that I, deemed worthy of sharing. But as soon as I investigate a bit more, maybe I'll do an episode on red-eyed
what you
demons.
guys, yeah, or
Yeah.
if you guys continue to send in more, I will look into it. Maybe.
Yes, there we go.
I'll look
See,
into it.
guys,
See,
come
I'll
on,
try.
write in, so I can explore this a bit more, which would be fun. Yes, definitely. But yeah, it is good. I don't really have, so my experience is, little and often, but I would really, really want to go to Shepton Mallet Prison.
Oh no, that sounds terrifying.
And I found out that you can actually go there on your own and do a little tour. It's open daily, and I actually want, soon as lockdown's open, I actually want Kat and I to go there for the day and do a little bit of a ghost hunt.
See, I have a better one for you.
Okay.
I think that we should go to Edinburgh and do the underground vaults.
Okay.
Girl, that place is scary. They have ghost tours. They have everything. It's a scary place. People lived down there. They used it for housing.
Oh, wow.
It was gross, like storage housing. Apparently, the rumor is that dead bodies were being stored down there.
Oh, wow.
There was a whiskey distillery, gambling, body snatchers. Could you imagine being a body snatcher?
I mean,
back in the slums for sure.
I just want my body snatched. I just never want to be snatched.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone. But there's a lot of recordings there. Like people have been a lot of physical contact. A lot. People that have gone in there not believing have walked out crapping themselves.
Oh, wow.
It's a scary, scratches, bruises, voice recordings, footsteps, apparitions. Like, it's big.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So Edinburgh needs to be on that list for sure.
Needs to be on the list, yes.
Like, I would want to see that because it's a good little history lesson as well.
Okay, nice. Okay. Goes quite far back.
Yeah, man.
Oh, nice.
Really scary.
Well, I actually have a friend of mine that is actually said that she will do an interview and story with me because she went to Shepton Mallet Prison. And
well, we'll have to do that. We'll have to interview someone when when we can on COVID.
Well, she's going to write. So I'm hoping next episode that we do, I'm going to actually read out her story because she's going to write it down for me about what happened to her there, because one of her friends actually brought one of the spirits home with her from the prison.
Oh no.
It's a bad prison. It's a bad prison.
This is why you don't take anything.
Excuse
me. This is why you don't take anything home. I'm already freaking
out. She didn't take anything home. It's one of the oldest prisons in England, this prison. And so mate, get this. The walls are 5 to 5.5 feet thick.
Oh.
This prison walls are. They used to execute people there, not only by hanging, but also by firing squad at this prison, right?
Oh, geez.
And the locals complained about the firing squad noise, not about the inhumanely way of killing the prisoners. I mean, and some of these prisoners, this prison was built in 1610, this prison, so it's old. So back in when they used to use a firing squad, some people's crimes were not like awful. Some people's crimes were just, like stealing and things like that. They would still go to the firing squad. It was quite a well-known prison for executing people for very little and very high reasons as well. But it was a male and female prison, and females used to give birth in that prison.
Oh God, could you imagine?
Honestly,
I've never given birth personally. No, thank you. Not right now. No. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no.
But I just wouldn't want to do that in a prison.
Yeah, no, me either. Yeah, no. And the prison has its original 1610 prison cells. It has the original one. So it's all the original building, and they've built onto it. So it's a lot of the places that you can go into. There's a place that is like a little hole in the wall, but it's on the ground. You have to crawl in to get in, and it's a prison cell inside a prison cell inside one, because they've built onto it so often.
Ew.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God, that's terrifying.
Yeah. People have heard voices, people have been touched, like there's a lot of stuff that has gone on this prison, that it is very, very active, very, very active. So it's one of the places,
and also following people. If she can write us her experience, I'd love to hear her experience.
Yeah, that's what it's, and it's a really interesting story. So it's going to be quite believable and unbelievable at the same time. But honestly, she's not one of these people that is a fabricator. She likes paranormal things. She's getting into it, and she definitely is interested in this type of thing. So she wouldn't lie.
Yeah.
I know that.
Well, this is it. People are going to take this how they're going to take it. You know, we have done this to just tell people what we've seen, what we've felt. You know, we're not trying to sit here and say you're wrong. You know, we're just telling you what happened to us.
Yes, exactly that. Exactly that. Yeah, exactly that. And it's, you know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to talk about. We're in quarantine and we're bored. We're bored.
Exactly. You know, everyone needs to stay positive. This isn't going to last forever. You know, we're still going to be able to go out and do stuff eventually.
Yeah.
You know, we just need to do stuff like this. Keep busy.
Stuff like this. Exactly that. Yep. So as I said before, guys, there will be an email in the link on the description. And if you have any stories, if you even have something that you want us to look up, research for you, anything that you know is dark and twisted, you know, just email us.
We will be so excited to just really dig in and research these things that you want us to talk about, you know. Let's talk about them.
Let's talk about it.
Don't be shy. This is Twisted Chamber. All goes.
All goes.
Anything goes. Exactly. It doesn't matter, you know. Ask us. We will give you an opinion. Nothing political, please.
No, nothing. No, not talking about politics.
No, we don't do that here. This is a safe haven for dark arts and
yes, for us dark
weird
individual
fun
folks.
Facts.
Yes, exactly that. You know? Yep.
Why not during this quarantine? So that's our first episode, everyone.
I know, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks.
Please link, share, write a review, but only if it's 5 stars. Don't give us less, because I curse you.
Subscribe, however the heck that happens. I'm not very computer literate, so excuse me. But check us out. Share us to your friends. I hope that this has come off good for first episode. The best one hopefully will be the next one.
The next one, yes. Yep. So I'm Tash.
There we go. I'm Kat.
And we will speak to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.